So like the soup is almost like sticky. It's amazing. I love it. Hello everybody, I'm Austin, and this is Eating What Is Given, the channel dedicated to exploring some of the best food experiences you can find in Korea. Be sure to subscribe to get notified of all of our exciting new content, including weekly live eating shows. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the video. Hello everyone, today I am going to a very famous Nopo Matjip in my hometown of Daejeon. This is one of my favorite Yukgaejang restaurants. If you guys don't know, Nopo Matjip basically means a restaurant that's generationally established. Basically, it's defined by any restaurant that's over 30 years old, kind of a proven restaurant. This place has been open for 34 years. They do one thing. They only serve Yukgaejang. Alright, so everyone, this is one of my favorite matjip in Daejeon. It's a Nopo Matjip. So they've been open for 35 years using the same recipe. The thing I love about this Yukgaejang is that it's so simple. They use two ingredients. It's basically pa and beef. So everything's guknae-san except for the beef. They're using a gochujang beef, but that's going to keep the price really low. And they also have so much of this beef. It's like, this is one of the heartiest soups that I've ever found in Korea. And because they're using so much of the leek, the broth gets really thick and rich. There's actually some, inside the leek, there's actually some starch. The starch goes into the soup and the soup becomes thick and rich. It's really great. There's so much beef in here. This is crazy. Like, so much beef. So good. Alright. So let's taste the broth. Man, that broth, it has a tomato taste. Like tomatoey taste to it. It's super thick. It's not seasoned very strong. It's like you can really taste the purity of those ingredients, just leek and beef. Actually, this reminds me of like a vegetable stew in the US. My dad used to make vegetable soup with lots and lots of leek. Man, but that thickness, that really thick, starchy broth is what's amazing about this place. I've had Yukgaejang in many other places, and I've never had one that has so much simplicity and perfection, but it's thick. It's really good. Nice. The paktubi is really nice, very naturally sweet. It's got that nutty bite to it at the end. I love it. I'm telling you though, if you have a hangover, this is going to be perfect. So delicious. So like the soup is almost like sticky. It's amazing. I love it. It sticks to that rice. It's so thick, so beefy. Like if you get Hanwoo Yukgaejang, it's either really expensive or just a little tiny bit of beef. Because people gotta make money, you know. But you know, this is awesome. I want to try a little piece of the beef here. Wow. I would say like cooked for hours. To get that tenderness, it has to be cooked for so long. Alright, I'm gonna go with some of the leek. You see, I call it leek, but I think it's just pa. I think it's just really aged green onion. But you see these big onions have that starch that gives it the thick taste. You know, it's so unique. I think any Western person coming here would assume there's tomatoes in this broth, but I'm 100% certain there's no tomatoes. Probably just gochugaru, some garlic, but mostly just two ingredients, the beef and the leek. But it's got that really tomatoey, almost like a salty tomatoey taste. Like natural MSG. It's amazing. So near here, in this area of Daejeon, there's so many Nopo Matjip that I love. It's a good place. Especially for a quick lunch. That natural MSG taste almost gives it a smokiness, like bulmat, like a little bit of bulmat. I know it sounds crazy to say that, but yeah. Beautiful, amazing. It just seems endless. Every bite is just packed full of beef and onion. Wow. This is so cool. This is a good meal. Look at this big piece of beef. If you guys visit Daejeon, you can walk here from Daejeon Station, so definitely recommend it for a lunch. This is just like an endless pull. You just keep pulling out more and more beef and more onion. There's no other Yukgaejang I've had like this. This is unbelievable to me. My dad made vegetable and beef soup that tasted just like this. However, he added tomatoes to his. The balance is there too. It's not over seasoned. Not too salty. It's good. Like, look at this. I'm almost done and there's still just piles and piles of beef and leek. It's beautiful. Yeah, I've never had Yukgaejang like this. Of course, I've always get Hanu Yukgaejang, and I think that's the problem. You can just see how thick that is. It's just endless, so many leeks. Honestly, I've had Yukgaejang many places. This is my first Yukgaejang Matjip, like the restaurant that specializes only in Yukgaejang. But knowing that this is easily the best Yukgaejang I've ever had in Korea, like you can tell there's some real thought into this recipe, some real skill to make soup that tastes like this. Daejeon Nopo Matjip.